Now, one of the other big stories coming out of the World Cup, obviously, is this is the first time that a major tournament has used VAR, Video Assistant Referee. It played a key role in several important moments in the tournament, but not least, of course, in the final when it was used to give that penalty to France for a 2-1 lead to France, leading them into half-time. It's obviously been influential. Most people seem to be saying it's been more good than bad as a force in the World Cup. What do you think will and should happen to VAR, given what we've seen of it on the world stage in the past 4 weeks, Dan?
Bin it.
Yeah?
I'm joking. I personally, I'm a fan.
Alan Shearer's not.
I know. Yeah, no, he does not like it. But dinosaurs really do like, when things move on. So,
How many dinosaurs have you spoken to?
Loads.
Right, sorry. Yeah. Go on.
You've been one.
Please. Please proceed.
I think as you said, it's generally been a force for good. They've gotten the trouble is I was going to say they've gotten more decisions right than wrong. The issue is that it's human beings still reviewing their own decisions. So it's human beings reviewing a subjective decision, and human beings being subjective, they can still get it how some others perceive it as wrong, right? That being said, I think in the majority of cases, I think the refs have gotten the right decision, but what the majority would see is the right decision, whether they've changed their minds or not.
There's a lot of comparison between VAR and what happens in rugby, right? The problem there is that rugby is somewhat different in that a forward pass is a forward pass, or you touch the ball down, Why they do have it right in rugby, I do think the way it's different here, is that for VAR, it's this clear and obvious. And now, clear and obvious has been interpreted so vastly differently across the tournament. It's developed, but it's been so inconsistent. Yeah. Is it an error? Yeah. Is it an error that the referee makes? Yeah. Or is it something that... I think I prefer it for it to be an error as opposed to something that's so vastly clear that it should be changed. Because then you're moving into the territory of, it should only be changed if it's so plainly obvious that it's just like for example, getting the wrong person for a yellow card.
All right. So take the penalty decision in the final as a case study, right? So it's most people looking at it thought it's not clear and obvious, right? And that would appear to be supported by the fact that the referee looked at it for ages, went back, had a second look before he finally made the decision. So maybe that's not clear and obvious, but that being said, once you've, as the referee, been called over and agreed to go over to the screen, you're going to make sure you get the right decision, even if it does take you 5 or 6 looks, right?
So you underestimate the pressure of... I think you slightly underestimate the pressure of being the first person to use VAR in a World Cup final. Yeah. And the referee doing that is a huge amount of things. No, he ran back. He came all the way back on the pitch and went back again to check.
No, I agree.
I think it was it's not unfair amount of pressure. That's what you sign up for. But that was a huge thing, and it's obviously.
Yeah, but hang on, don't misunderstand me. What I'm saying is, like the Shearers of this world, for example, right, are saying, well, the fact that he had to go back and have a second look means it's not clear and obvious, which means it shouldn't have given a penalty, right? Yeah. But I'm saying,
it's not clear and obvious, therefore it shouldn't have been referred.
Yeah, okay, that's maybe the key difference, right? Because once it has been referred, then obviously, as a referee, you're going to do all you can to make the right decision. So the question is whether it should have been referred in the first place, not how long he took once he's there, right?
Agreed.
Yeah.
But,
somewhat though.
With that specific incident, I could actually see both sides of it. So I thought the flick off the guy's head gave the defender too little time to react, and so it was probably it was a reflex, but his arm was kind of moving up already. It possibly accelerated a bit more once it flicked off his head. So, but it was less than half a metre really that he's playing with, and it was a blink of an eye in terms of the time. And so I was like, I don't think that's a penalty because I don't think it was enough time and enough intent. That being said, his arm is moving towards the ball, therefore I can see why it's given. That's why I haven't signed up to be a referee. Yeah,
but it's also the same thing when you watch it back. When you watch it back in slow motion for the amount of times that he did, and that's the thing that we don't see quite at the moment. We don't get the feed of what the referee is looking at constantly.
Not like in American football or in rugby.
So you get to see exactly what they're looking at. they play you an interpretation of, but not exactly what they're doing. So probably the referee saw so many times a slow motion hand going up towards the ball, and yes, you can analyse that when it takes 5 seconds for that movement to happen.
So that's one of my problems with it, and I'm still again a little bit bitter about a couple of England decisions, particularly that rugby tackle on Kane in the Tunisia game and the headbutt in the Colombia game on Henderson. Because what I don't understand still, and what I don't think is made clear enough, is because we're told, VAR is constantly watching, right? So at any time, the guys in the studio can talk to the referee and say, you might want to look at this, right? But if that's the case, there are several cases, 2 of which I've just mentioned, that I literally don't understand why they weren't referred. And so I think if we're going to continue with this, and I assume we are, then there's going to have to be a bit more.
It's got to be clearer. It's got to be a clearer protocol of what is VAR just telling you, no, you're wrong, or this has happened, so you need to give this decision. Taking out the referee thinking about it, because these are people who are looking at it, but the fact that they're telling you to go and look at it probably means that they think you should change your decision, and that's an implicit bias immediately. Take that away and just say, no, we're referees, we're qualified referees as well, as they all are, and just give the decision.
Well, that's why Arsene Wenger has long lobbied for having challenges. Because if you challenge a decision by the ref, it means that you're not saying to him, other qualified referees think you're wrong. You're saying, I think you're wrong as a manager. And you're much more likely to stick to your guns against a manager or someone who's partisan than you are if a bunch of your fellow colleagues are saying, we actually think you should look at this.
Yes.
I think that's absolutely correct. And I also think we'll get there. I mean, we've got to remember this is the forefront, right? By the next World Cup, I hope that we are not talking about VAR as a thing that interferes with the decisions in football.
All right, well, let us know what you think about VAR. Has this been a game changer for you in terms of what its future is within the game of football? Should it stick around? What needs to change with it if it is going to stick around? Let us know what you think about VAR.